We don't do any childcare or anything. So just trying to work and
Saves a lot of money.
It does save money. That is true.
You know?
A lot of people ask me how we do it, and I'm like, I mean, you're saving 40 grand a year. What do you mean?
No, seriously, my brother has 3 kids now, and
Wow.
the child care expense just to send them to daycare is just astronomical. So each kid is a full blown mortgage payment almost.
Dude, for real. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's getting any better. I know, the good news is, I mean, Trump seems to be fighting for that type of stuff, including like IVF and all that. So hopefully that gets resolved. So I think like eventually we'll get to a point to where our government recognizes, listen, either everything on the planet has to go down in price, or you got to figure out something for childcare because it's
it's insane, man. Yeah. My buddy's mom owns a bunch of childcare centers, and
oh wow,
a majority of the people that go there are people who are on like government assistance and things like that, and so but even then it's still expensive. It's like they get the help, but if you make over a certain amount of money, you don't get any help. So
that's right. Yeah. It'd be, obviously we're not smart enough to dabble into politics, but let's go ahead and just talk about that. Let's just fucking break the internet. No, there's something to be said about kind of how our system is now, because we've tried to raise minimum wage and all. It just doesn't. It's not feasible, because by the time we get to that point, already inflation has gone up, 2, 3, 4, 5% every year. So it's like, what you can't, unless you start right now today in 2025, $60 minimum wage an hour.
Well, I just saw a thing on that, and that was the number they gave, and I was like,
"Oh, was that right? I did hear that. I was
it was something like the equivalent from like
60 or 70 or something.
60s, like the equivalent of minimum wage from then to today is like $60 an hour, and that's why they were allowed to purchase homes and cars.
That's right. Well, and back then, I mean, houses were $30,000, and interest rates. A lot of people don't understand, but interest rates back then were like 20%. But their house
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was like, I think my dad might have paid like 15% when he bought his first house. But the house was 50 grand.
Yeah.
So even
15%
still,
on 50 grand, it's not the same. It's 7% on 800,000 or a million,
Well, and by the way, that 15%, for people that don't know finance out there, that's only if you don't pay 50 grand for the house. Like if you decide to loan that money, that's interest. But if you buy the house outright, it costs you 50 grand. You cannot buy a house anywhere on the planet for 50 grand, maybe in Italy, and it's a small village that you're in. But aside from that,
they might pay you to go there.
That's right. Me and Ant were actually talking about that too. We're like, because he's Italian. And I'm like, bro, that's the goal, man. That's the goal.
They're like, we'll pay you and give you a house, and all we want is for you to populate our villages again.
That's right. Just have more sex.
Japan's doing the same thing.
Yeah. Well, it's strange that we have to get to this point, right? Because it's, Americans, ironically, are the ones that profit and benefit rather from all these incentives that other countries are doing, which should tell you something. Like, as American, and even if you're in the government, like, you're like, why are these countries taking our citizens and making them come over here with these incentives? Well, A, because they're making a budget for it, but B is because a lot of these countries, people decades ago have moved to America for quote unquote a better life. But it kind of seems like it's going the opposite route, because a lot of times
reversing itself.
Yeah, a lot of times people don't want to leave, their home country. Maybe it's Italy or Europe or whatever, but they never come back. If they migrate to America, they usually stay in America because they know there's opportunity and things like that. But when you get 70 and 80, what are you trying to be, like a top influencer? Like, what? You're not really doing anything. At 80, you want to retire and sit and drink wine and hang out, right? Well, what better place to do that than outside the U.S.? And I think that's kind of where people's are starting.
Italy specifically.
Italy specifically. I talk so much about it. People are probably bored on this podcast only because I went there last year and I just fell in love.
I saw that one with your kid, right?
That's right.
And
Yeah,
then
dude.
they're saying, "Oh, why would you bring your child?" Well, I have memories too. I want to remember bringing my kid to places. Come on,
People are
you
so
know?
silly. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like, are you not going to bring your kid to Disney World at the age of 3? What, are they not going to remember it? Like, come on. What are you doing?
The pictures and the memories, and
Yeah,
then you get to show them like, "Hey, look at you when you were this age,"
that's
and
right.
it's like the best feeling.
Oh yeah, it's so great.
So
And you have kids of your own, right?
I do. I have a 14, 16-year-old.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're way ahead
Actually,
of me.
they're downstairs. Well, the 16-year-old's downstairs. She starts school on Monday. So
Oh nice.
yeah. So I took her out of her school and then
Yeah.
put her into a charter school. And then my other daughter
Okay.
wanted to go to the high school that's, we have a high school pretty much across the street from us, but
Nice.
she wanted to go there with her friends, and then she wanted to go to the charter school with her friends. So I was like, all right, that's fine.
That's awesome. And sorry, remind me where you're at again? What state?
We're down in California, San Diego.
That's right.
So
Okay.
out in Vista.
Yeah, yeah. I used to go to Corona a lot. My old company
Yep.
that I used to work for. So
Out
yeah,
in the desert.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was fucking
That
hot.
place is yeah.
It's right on the border. It's pretty close. It's
Yeah.
you don't think you're in California when you're down that south.
No, you don't.
But
You really don't. You're like,
yeah.
what's going on here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And how do you like California with everything going on? Because I don't, I followed your page for a while, but in terms of like just in the last decade or so.
I was born and raised.
Were
so
you?
I was born in Orange. I was actually born into a heroin addict, and
Oh wow.
yeah, I got lucky, man. My aunt and uncle adopted me, and so I was super blessed. Yeah, I was born addicted, so there's that. Kind of just it was one of those things to where like I found out when I was like 13, 14 that was the situation. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm not them, so
Wow.
like I had that mindset of it. It's like, okay, like they didn't raise me, you did. You're my mom and dad.
Yeah.
But I was super blessed, man, and I love California. I really do. The Democrat policies are just torching everything, though. Prices of everything, like the gas prices. Gavin Newsom shutting down 2 of the refineries, the gas taxes. When they had that law pushed out, they changed the wording on that specific measure.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, if you voted yes, you were voting to not have the gas tax. And if you were voting no, you were voting for the gas tax. And so people who don't really
follow
up and read their ballots and stuff, they didn't understand the difference. So I had an overwhelmingly, majority for no. Because people thought they were voting against it. So I was just like, what? Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing?
From a political standpoint, usually only follow the big elections. And what people don't understand is no matter where you are in the country, local elections are more important.
Oh, 100%.
Because they're more frequent, but also it's the laws that you are fighting for on a daily basis. It's just the politics only highlight the big boys, right? Because they know that is how they get clicks, right? The abortions.
Well, that's why a lot of people right now are doing a big push on the AB 495 in California. So a lot of the big creators that I know, we're all completely against it.
And remind me what that is.